Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday's Reading the Red, a course that's designed to look at what Jesus said from the Gospels written in red. And we're coming to the end of the revelation regarding a good tree and a bad tree. And here Jesus just finally says these simple words to his disciples in 23. And then, so having said all the things I've said, and then I will declare to them, Jesus says, declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you who practice lawlessness. So he says, I then, meaning I am going to be the one who brings about the judgment upon you at the end of the age on that day. So he says, I then will declare, I never knew you. Meaning Jesus is saying to those disciples who presented themselves as disciples but were not really disciples. They just went along with it, but really never, like in the beginning, bore any good fruit. They represented the kingdom, they represented the church, but they didn't bear any fruit. Jesus says, I never knew you. He never knew you. He never really had the right to be living in you because you didn't really give him the right to reign. And that sense of letting God reign, letting God be Lord of our lives, letting him be in charge of our decision making, letting him and his way determine the reality of our identity, unless salvation represents for us the surrender of who we are and allowing who he is to reign in us, we cannot be one of his disciples. And Jesus says, I never knew you. You was a part of everything that I represented, but I never knew you. I never really got to know who you were because you didn't allow me to gain access to you, to bring about the transformation that I promised to bring in order that you might bear a good fruit and stop producing bad fruit. And that representation there on the last line there, it says, you who practice lawlessness. It means that when the choice came to make a decision regarding whether or not you would do the right thing or the wrong thing, the God thing or the enemy's thing, you constantly chose the enemy's thing. You constantly chose to continue to live your life, making your decisions, whether they were reflective of God or not. And the fact that you continued in that and that you practiced the lawlessness of life, you basically lived according to your own fleshly desires, still driven by the soulless nature that God wanted to deliver you from, to re-educate you, to set you free. He wanted to bring all of this good stuff into your life. But because you would not surrender to allowing him to be in charge, you never became a good tree. You never let Jesus take away all of the rubbish in you that was producing bad fruit. And coming to that stage, brothers and sisters, must be the horrific thing for anyone. And who wants to stand before God at the end of the age in the judgment on that day and hear him say these words, I never knew you. Depart from me, you who practices lawlessness. Well, we're end of that. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless your day.